I've written a few of the other books. It's been absolutely amazing each time, and each time I'm sitting here going, "Okay, I'm a pro. I've done this already." But it feels like every time it's, even though I have the experience now and I've done this numerous times, it feels still like the first time because I'm going in and rehashing a lot of memories that I hadn't shared before. When I usually tell stories, I give the surface thing. I was in business, I went through this, and then this was the effect, and that's about it. But actually going back in each time and having to relive those moments, the way you felt, putting yourself back into those positions and moments in time so that you can actually relay that in the message. Man, it was just absolutely amazing to go through, really find some of those things again, and rediscover some of the things that I still needed to work on that I had dormant for a very long time. So it was an excellent experience. I'm very glad that I had the opportunity to be able to do this, because not only is it something that I can share with other people, it's something that's helping me grow as well.
Doing this again, it kind of was a trip down memory lane, and it triggered some things again. And, some things that I thought that I had dealt with and I was over and past and, victorious over. And I realized, wow, even though this is like the second time I've written it, per se, the feelings are still there. It brings back the memories and it brings back those feelings. And um, it's like I was reliving it all over again. And it just really brought me to a state of humbleness and grace, and realizing how far I've come in almost 38 years now, because it'll be 38 years in October.
Ooh, being a part of this project was so much fun. I highly recommend it to so many people to even just do this once. And if you have thoughts of like writing a book for yourself, but you don't know where to start and you're just in that fear, this is a great place to like get your feet wet and get into the writing, publishing, editing, all that fun stuff. This is a good like first step. I highly recommend it to my friends. I have a friend that will possibly be in the next book too, and that's just because I told her about my experience here and how easy and fun it was, and she was like, that sounds like something I can do. And it's just that easy. uh, Dina and Christopher make it so easy and so much fun and worth every minute. And the journey's just amazing. Nothing beats seeing your name attached to a book that is on Amazon.
Speaking of being vulnerable, I feel like when we're writing something difficult like this, um, it's very uncomfortable being that vulnerable, knowing so many people are going to be reading this book. And the way you set up our process, Dina, has been so great, because we've had a chance to connect with the other authors and connect and build that sense of community and support. And that has been one of the more rewarding parts of this experience. And we really appreciate that and want to thank you for that.
Well, for me, it's really special because, this is my passion project, and we're in our 6th year, which is really exciting. And this is our 5th book, and I am just excited and blessed to be part of this, even though it was something God put on my heart, and I really didn't know what to do with that 6 years ago, and now I can't imagine doing anything else. It's just fun to get to know people and support them in this journey and telling a story that's not easy to tell.
It was a great experience for me because the way she has it set up, and from the Zoom calls and from even Demi editing and helping us out to get our chapter together. I like the simplicity of not writing a novel, but yet able to take everything and do a whole overview of my life to bring that story about suicide, but yet where I'm writing from and how I was able to put in my life, how it correlates with suicide and how to overcome, and then helping people to have hope. And that was my experience, and I really enjoyed it. And I hope and pray that I'm able to write in further series.
Oh my goodness, to be able to write a chapter for Scars to Stars the second time was a completely different experience. I knew what I was going to write when I composed my chapter for book 3 because I was on a mission. For this time, I felt called to write about something so much more personal. And it was emotional, it was hard, it was challenging. It had 40 different rough drafts before I submitted my first one. But it healed so much of me and gave me the strength to be able to share my story in a way that holds myself in the integrity and the positivity that I want to bring out into the world.
My experience being a part of this project was a great one. Dina has created a really wonderful model where the authors get together on a weekly basis to share how we are doing writing our chapters, which provides different levels of support for each of us. And as a third-time contributor, I am able to give support to other writers who are maybe writing their story for the very first time. Through this model, we build a really good camaraderie, and by the end of the process, we are all a small family with a very tight common bond.
My experience on this project has been amazing. It's helped me see and heal certain parts of the little Jessie inside that I didn't realize were still hanging on. I've been able to laugh, cry, and experience some really deep, heartfelt connections with some amazing souls who I would never have met without this project. We all have a different story, but we have one shared mission, and that's to give someone hope where they might have been feeling like they're the only ones who have experienced that situation. And to know that there are ways of speaking up and out and sharing our story in a loving and healthy way that will help another person know that it's going to be okay. Being a part of this project, it has been an amazing opportunity. It's been empowering and comforting knowing that I'm not alone in this process of life either.
It has been really, really refreshing. And for me, that the foundation creates all the steps that you need in order to feel confident in what you're doing. That we had weekly meetings where I got to meet some of the authors, and some of those authors had previously written. And the important part for me was, I'm going to say that what I put in my chapter is the first time that almost everybody in my life is going to hear something that I reveal in there. And it has been cathartic for me to be able to get rid of that secrets, because secrets come out in other ways. And I was able to learn just another few little nuggets about myself. And I've been in personal growth for the last 15 years.
Yeah, well, I was really excited to be part of the book project community because we get together once a week, and it was great to know that other people also were writing in the book and had experienced from some really horrible times. So I really appreciated doing that. But of course, I was also afraid to write the chapter, my chapter, But it was also great to overcome my fear of the what ifs. It was like the last chapter of experiencing controlling fear of the people who tried to hold me down.
Since I've written in a previous compilation for Scars to Stars, I knew kind of what to expect, but it seemed like this group was awesome. The experience was just the same, but better. Everyone participated in a way where they were opening up and giving their truth and sharing. And I don't think anyone would ever get an experience like this anywhere else. I just love how we end up becoming like family in the process because of how it's done. And I appreciate that more. That just made it a hard subject easier to be able to produce it and share it with others, because it felt like, even though we were virtual, it felt like everyone was holding my hand. I know everybody else felt like that too, and I think it's just a great experience.
The process of writing in Scars to Stars Book 5 was actually a lot harder than I expected it was going to be. The story is one that I've got a book outline and have had for 7 years probably, but I've kept putting it off. And in writing the short story version of what went on for Scars to Stars, it really brought to the forefront of why I've been putting that off. Because digging back into all those emotions, all those challenges, all the heartbreaking moments with my wife as she's going through this process, it was, I'm going to go really challenging at points. And I was really grateful when I got the copy of the book back, that I was able to read through the whole story without crying, because I couldn't do that the whole time I was writing it. It was just so raw and so real that, yeah, I totally get why I've been putting this off for so long.
So I've loved writing since I was a kid, and I do blogging. However, this writing assignment of this chapter was very different, because I was literally writing about the worst night and day of my life. And so the experience of that was very different than the other writing that I'm used to doing and feel comfortable and good about doing. I really had to go through an experiential process of reliving it, writing it all down, which was very hard, and looking at things again, looking at the wound, and also very healing to bring that healing balm, so that the writing process itself was a little more redemptive for me as a whole. And the process of being involved in the group and the weekly calls was such a blessing. It was very different than just writing off by yourself. It was having community to walk through the process with.
It was pretty hard writing it, not gonna lie. There was a couple moments where I almost had anxiety attacks. I mean, obviously speaking it still gives me a little stutter, but my experience was just to make it thorough to the point where others can relate. And it just also gave me hope, knowing that I would be a part of something bigger than myself.
This has been a very enlightening experience. It's been something that has taught me how to be more real and raw, not just by voice, but being able to write. And it's been very therapeutic, but it's been very emotional, but an exciting project. And I'm just super excited to be able to help other people with this.